The first step in penetration testing is to gather information. Usually, we have two different kinds of information. We have the passive information and active information. Passive information is the information that you are gathering from public website. You are searching on Google, you are searching on social media website, but you are not interacting with the victim. While active information is the opposite. Gathering information is a very important phase inside while you are doing penetration testing. And if you spend enough time and enough effort, for sure you will get enough information to let you plan for the attack and to make sure that the attack will be successful. So we're going to start about how to gather passive information using Kali Linux. I'm going to start with Google search. Google search, it's the first tool of getting passive information. Except you need to know how to use Google in a proper way. But before starting and before showing you how to search Google and how to use search operator, what is the first thing that you're gonna check about your target? Assume that your target is a company. So what is the first thing to check? Definitely their website. You need to check their website. You need to understand what service they are providing, how the site look like, maybe getting some email, maybe getting a contact information. Maybe check if the site is well done. I mean, if the site it's not very well done and prepared and the HTML code it's messy, maybe that indicates they didn't spend that much time on that they didn't spend much time or money on their website, and accordingly maybe they didn't spend that much time on security if they didn't spend on the site. So definitely they didn't spend anything or they didn't spend that much on security. So the website, it's your first searching tool, checking the victim website if your victim is a company. Now, when we are talking about searching, Google will help you to get a lot of information about the site. So, for instance, if I search for Microsoft.com, so he's gonna search all the Microsoft website.com, the domain and the subdomain. And as you can see, this is the amount of results that was found. Now, can I be more specific? Because maybe he will get me some website that do not belong to Microsoft, but inside the site itself, they mention something about Microsoft. So I get a huge amount of website. No, I just need Microsoft website. So I can use a search operator like this operator, site, and then, and we can put them Microsoft.com. So by using the site operator, I can search for only the site that has Microsoft in the site name. So as you can see, I was able to get Microsoft. I was able to get the subdomain. This is a subdomain from Microsoft. So I'm getting only the URL that has Microsoft inside. This is by using site. I can even extract some of them. I mean, what if I'm looking for all subdomain except the main domain? I don't want the search to have www.microsoft.com, but I need the other domain. And by the way, did you notice that the amount of output for the search has decreased? So I can put the sign minus site semicolon Microsoft.com. I'm sorry, it should be www.microsoft.com. Let me correct this. So what exactly this operating is saying, okay, I want you to search for anything that has inside the site name Microsoft.com except exclude the www.microsoft.com. So get me anything except this one, www.microsoft.com, and anything that has this specific site. And as you can see, we are getting everything except the www.microsoft.com. So we're getting all the subdomains. Okay. What if I want to search for file inside Microsoft PowerPoint presentation inside Microsoft that has the term penetration testing? During this section, we're going to see how easy it is to gather information about people and how some free tools that has been created for a good reason can be manipulated to gather those information. Let me give you a small example. What is the most important piece of information you need to get if you plan to compromise someone? Let's talk on personal basis. I'm not talking about now company basis. If I need to compromise someone sitting on his computer remotely, how can I do that? What is the most important piece of information is IP. If I was able to get his public IP, this is a very important information, and then I can use this IP to compromise his system. Now, is it easy to get someone IP remotely? I mean, he's sitting somewhere in some country and I need to get his IP. Is it easy? If he send me an email, it's easy. I can open the email and then check the header. But what if he didn't send me an email? Okay. Some free tools can be used to gather such information. And I'm going to start with this specific tool for mail tracing. Now the email is our main communication, right? No one is using fax like before or letters. Need to send someone important information, you send by email. Business are running through email. I mean, mail is very important right now. Now, the private email, like your company email, they have their own tracking system. I mean, in Microsoft Outlook, there is an option that allow you to trace email. If you send someone an email, you can trace, and you can know if the receiver receives the email and open it. You get a notification. But what about the free email? If you have an Hotmail or Gmail or Yahoo, can you trace the email? If I'm sending you an email on your Gmail account, can I know once you open this email? In Gmail itself and Hotmail and Yahoo, they don't have this feature for tracing email, but you can use some third-party website, like the site I open right now, confirm.to, or there is another website which is readnotify.com or didtheyreadityet.com. I mean, just search for email tracing website. Some of them are free, some of them are paid, but the point is you go and you create an account here. And after that, any email you send from your free email like Gmail or Hotmail, assume that you will send me an email and assume my email is Atif, for instance, at hotmail.com. And you want to send me an email with the tracing. So what you're going to do, you open your Gmail, you write my email address, and then but you have to register on this website first. You should have an account here. And then for anyone that you are sending an email, you can add at the end of his email address dot confirm dot to. Okay, so any mail address that you are sending, you have to add at the end of this part dot confirm dot to. So what happens is, once I receive this email, I will not see this part. I mean, I will not be aware that this mail is traced and whoever sent it are tracking the email. But once he open the email, I will receive an email saying that email has been opened, has been received and opened. And to give you a confirmation, he will also give you the IP of my computer. It's a public IP. So if I'm telling you that I didn't receive the email, you can tell me, no, you received the email, you opened this date and this time and from this IP and from this country. So whoever did this website and similar website, it was not for exposing people IP. But what happened is people are using that to get the IP of their victim. So I'm sitting there, I'm sending you an email just by opening the email, no attachment, no link. Just by opening the email, I will receive your IP. And this is the public IP, which is the router IP. And it's quite easy to compromise the router, as you're going to see during this training. So what I'm saying is, it's just a small example showing you it's not actually so technical to gather information about people. And very, very deep information, as you're going to see later on. And I just need to use some website and some tools, and I'll be able to get a huge amount of critical information that I can use to compromise the system. So this is just a small proof of concept. By the way, any tools or anything that I'm explaining related to email, do not use it on your own personal email. For any testing, create an email for this course and test whatever you are doing. Sending an email, cracking an email. So do not use your personal email for any of those tools or any hacking technique. Use a test mail. Once you are comfortable with whatever you practice, then feel free to use whatever you want. Let's take another example. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to try to scan another computer. I know that we didn't talk about scanning yet, but this will be explained in depth later on. So I'm going to use a specific command called nmap. This is a very powerful Linux tool that allow you to scan all the computer port and service and operating system. I'm going to type nmap minus small s capital S, which is scanning the services and the port, and minus capital O, which is scanning the operating system. And I will write an IP inside my network, which is 192.168.163.132. But before start the scanning, I will open Wireshark and I'm going to start sniffing. So we'll choose ETH0 and he starts sniffing. Let me now scan and let's see what will happen. So as you can see, the scanning was able to scan all the port and get me some result. And here I'm going to stop the scanning and we're going to see what result we can get. Now, first I want to show you that sometimes you will get a lot of unwanted traffic. So what you can do, you can apply some filter. This is very useful. And actually in Wireshark, you will find the display filter very easy to use. So if you type here, I just need the IP for the traffic between those two computers. So I can type IP address. I wrote it here before. IP address should be written this way. Let me increase it. And you put equal and the IP of the source, then the IP of the destination. So let me increase. So here I'm telling him I need only the traffic between those two computers, the IP address of 192.168.168.138, which is the computer who scanned, and the IP of 192.168.132, which is IPs that are scanned. And we click on OK, so it will filter the traffic. Now, let's understand the traffic and compare it to what we received. So as you can see, some traffic here between those two machines he was scanning, and some port here are doing the three-way handshake, and some port are sending a reset. So when he tried to scan a system, when he tried to scan a port and the port sends the reset packet, that means the port is closed. While if he completed the three-way handshake with a port, that means the port is open. which is matching those information. So any ports that didn't show here, that's mean the system or the Kali Linux try to scan it, but since the port is open, it has sent a reset packet. Now scanning will be explained in depth, but what I'm saying is if you start getting familiar with Kali Linux, with Wireshark, you will be able to detect if someone is scanning the system. You will be able to detect what kind of traffic. So what I suggest that you spend sometimes going through Wireshark, doing different scenario, applying filter, try to analyze the traffic. Definitely, this will add to you while you are penetrating any wired or wireless network. So spend some time with Wireshark. Let me know if you need some additional resources, and I'll be more than happy to help you with that.